welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden for the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships, and we're just about to get underway with the men's M1 83 kilos. And I am joined in the commentary box by none other than Joe Stoneface Whiteley.
Hello.
Welcome.
Delighted to be here.
And we've already managed to put you to work. I saw you over there on platform 2 earlier today.
Yeah, I just did the 66 and the 59s and the 66s.
And you're competing tomorrow?
First thing tomorrow morning, very early.
We are very privileged to have you here in the commentary box. And the 83 kilo class, I think in any age group, this is probably one of the most contested classes. And of course, in this session, none other than our own Ryan Six-Pack Lafadap will be competing as well. So we're very generous and gave him the morning off from commentary.
Can't be in two places at once.
Right now, Martin Lewis Brix from Denmark, 170 kilograms.
He looks fierce, doesn't he?
That first lift is always the most nerve-wracking, I think.
I get very nervous. He'll want to make this look very easy, gain a bit of confidence.
Oh, that was a tough opening lift.
I don't think that's the opener that he wanted.
Depth was really good, but
it was.
Wow, that was tough.
Maybe too deep. Yeah, that's not going to fill him with confidence to put a lot of weight on for his next
one.
one.
Yeah, might have oversunk it a little bit. Sometimes you just sort of overcompensate for that first lift.
But he's so nervous coming out onto the platform with so many cameras and lights. It's so much pressure.
Yeah, in the international stage, I mean, you've got all the cameras, you've got all the lights, you've got the audience, referees, juries, commentators staring at you. Mark Olsjelberg from Denmark, 170.
So he's not had to come far today, just across the water.
Yeah, it's certainly always nice when you don't have to travel too far.
Depth not in question, but there's a little bit of lateral shift there.
Again, tough opening lift. I mean, you want your opening squat to feel a lot easier.
It's true. I make all my squats look difficult though. You can never tell. I look like I can't do any more, and then I put another 10 kilos on and it looks the same.
Yeah, I think that's where the stone face comes from. And Riziev from Tajikistan.
Okay, looking very calm as he comes out to the platform. I think this is his first international.
Yeah, I don't recall. I'm just trying to recall seeing him in Canada or any of the other competitions, and I don't recall.
No. Fully kitted out in the black on black SBD.
The patented SBD belt and buckle there. That's what an opening squat should look like.
Yeah, that was very nice. That'll give him some confidence. Conservative depth, not too deep, not too far. Okay, next up we have Turkish lifter, Gonan.
We've got 66 nations,
really,
as far as I know, this week.
Wow. I think nearly 1,000 lifters.
Yeah, it's been absolutely huge. And Turkey sending a team as well, which is great to see.
Are they new members?
I can't remember when Turkey joined the IPF.
That looks nice and easy. 3 white lights.
Now they're starting to get some rhythm going.
Yeah. It must be difficult as well, opening the session, walking out first.
Yeah, I never like to be first lifter. I mean, the nerves are bad enough for your first lift, but to be first cab off the rank, starting to get to know the referees and what they're actually looking for. It's nice to be sort of midway down the pack for that first lift.
We've got Will Mann coming out now for Britain. He's relatively new to the international scene. He competed in Hungary at the European Masters.
Oh, that was earlier this year.
It was in March. And I think that was his first international.
And here he is, hitting the world stage.
Yeah.
Big breath.
Yeah, nice and tight.
Depth is fantastic.
Knees came in a little bit there, but
Yeah,
he
just
didn't seem to have any trouble with it.
a little bit of a drop on the right knee, but it didn't sort of cause any lateral movement. So
Big sigh of relief.
Emil Lofgren from Sweden, 205.
Local boy coming out.
It's always nice competing in your home country. Got that little bit of an advantage.
You have to think that it will affect the American and Canadian lifters coming so far.
Yeah, I think those teams with the longest travel certainly makes it difficult.
Also, careful squat. He's very careful into the hole. Didn't get much drive out, but he kept his position well.
Yeah, very smooth.
So is this Kevin Weiss or Weiss, do you think?
I'm going with Weiss.
Weiss. Okay.
And he is a very solid looking 84, 83.
Been competing for 24 years.
Yeah, plenty of experience.
Let's go, Kev. We have plenty of time now.
And we'll get all these guys with their openers on the board. And then we'll see them start having a bit of fun. Smooth all the way through.
Didn't give him too much trouble.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of room left to move there.
So Finnish lifter up next, Sipilainen.
212.5 kilograms.
I think he's the current world champion. He's the defending world champion. He won in Calgary last year, I think.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Yeah, no, I believe he did, actually.
Shouldn't give him too much trouble. I think his PB is around 230.
Good depth.
Yeah, fast into the hole. Gave him no trouble at all.
Chest came a little bit forward, but he managed to correct that pretty quickly.
Might just be his style. It's hard to tell if you only see the first lift.
And you were correct. He did take away the gold medal last year in Calgary.
I think he's going to have some competition from the Ukrainian lifter this year, though.
Yeah,
And
he's
here
a
he
tough
comes.
lifter. Leonid Nitsky from the Ukraine. And they had a solid performance in Tokyo as well, the Ukrainian team.
Did they in the raw and the equipped?
In the equipped and
In
the
the
raw.
equipped.
They sent a pretty big team.
Their equipped team is always a force to be reckoned with.
And I had the great pleasure of sitting next to Felix, one of the coaches, on the plane on the way back. And he's bigger than I am. So there wasn't a whole lot of room. Good depth, nice and smooth. Chest is up all the way through.
Very well controlled.
He's got a lot more to add on to that one.
Ryan out next.
Six-pack Lapidat on his way out. He's been commentating all week.
Taking a brief break. That's
Looking
giving me the opportunity to get on the mic.
Looking very calm.
He's a very calm person, though, isn't he?
Let's go, Ryan.
He'll be really wanting to get this first one on the board.
He's wearing odd shoes. Is that something he always does?
Well, it was a long trip and sometimes you lose shoes. Good opening
was
squat.
nice, easy,
Very
wasn't
good
it?
opening
Yeah.
squat. Very nicely done. He'll be happy to get that one on the board.
Yep.
Kimbunov from Mongolia, 220. Always quite unpredictable on squats, the Mongolian team.
Yeah.
They developing at quite a rapid rate with their coaching techniques, and the team's growing. Well, that might be a little shy.
Conservative depth.
We'll wait and see what the referees say. Yeah, a little bit high.
Just a little bit shallow.
And
so the Mongolians, they're quite a new team?
Yeah, they certainly are. And but they are developing rapidly. They're great bench pressers.
Okay.
And you can see their teams getting more organised and their coaching staff getting more familiar with the IPF and how everything works.
Of course, they hosted the World Masters last year.
They did, yeah. And didn't have the opportunity to go to that one, but everyone that attended said it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Benjamin Rowe, USA, 225. Really getting that bar dug right in deep.
Oh, that was tough, wasn't it?
Opening lift, isn't it?
Very controlled on the way down.
It was almost like he was really struggling to push down into depth.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he just didn't get any stretch reflex at the bottom, and he didn't seem to get any drive up.
That was a tough way to open. Donald Bingham now from USA, 235. Using the technique of wearing that belt a little bit higher so it doesn't get in the road.
Yeah, familiar face. Been very active on the Masters scene for quite a while.
It was a tough field this year in the 83s.
It's a popular class, isn't it? Depth looked
no problem with the weight,
there.
but it just got in there.
Yeah, I think that was the very definition of just in.
I like to be a little bit more convincing. Andre Jeffrey now from France, 235. They've got a pretty solid team here this year as well.
Yeah, the French you always get a lot of support from the French team as well. It's always great to hear them, the team in the audience shouting for their compadres.
Yes, they were very vocal in Tokyo.
Okay, a bit of work, but nothing to worry about.
Never looked in doubt. Certainly never looked in doubt, though.
Okay, so we go round again for the second squats. Everyone got theirs in, apart from the Mongolian.
Yeah, so just one red mark on the board. It's nice to see. Martin Lewis Brix from Denmark. Should say 180 on the screen. And it has, they've just fixed that up. Didn't have the cleanest opening lift.
No, it didn't. It was quite hard, wasn't it?
Let's hope it was just first lift nerves.
Oh, no. Well, I think he'll get it, but you've got to wonder how much more.
I think he's going to make everyone look tough. It's on the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much more he's got there.
I think everyone's just going to look hard on this one.
I think he's going way too deep. I think if he cut it and kept tight just a little bit higher.
He's sinking it right in. And, yeah, probably losing quite a bit of tightness by going that deep. And you can see that left side really sort of hanging down a bit.
So Mark's up next. He also made his opener look quite hard, didn't he?
Yeah, it certainly didn't look easy. Let's see if this one looks any better. It didn't look a lot better.
No, but I think
it wasn't as tough as his first one, though.
He's a little bit off balance, though, isn't he? He's a little bit asymmetrical.
You can see that right knee just starting to dip just a little bit. Just needs to really drive that out.
I wouldn't put more than 5 kilos on that, really.
200 kilograms now. Ryzyov from Tajikistan.
It always fascinates me how differently lifters approach the bar.
Yeah, everyone's got their own little style.
And this chap's
And
very calm.
Their own little traditions. He's an extremely calm lifter. His opening lift looked very good. And his second lift is fantastic. Great technique. Head's up, chest is up, sits back. If you look at
Red light for depth.
If you look at the replay, you can see his chest and head position just stays the same the whole way through.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Ali going in 205.
So he's jumped up 15 kilos from his opener.
Yeah, his opening lift looked quite good. And
this is a huge PB for him already, though, on his second lift.
yeah, so moving into PB territory already. Ooh,
That
we
looks
might have
shallow
cut that
to
a little bit
me.
shy. Let's wait and see what the referees say. It is. He's just cut it a little bit short.
Which is a shame, because he looked strong. He looked like
Yeah,
the weight wasn't a problem.
The weight certainly isn't a problem, and that sometimes happens when you get into that PB territory. You're putting a weight on your back you've never handled before.
Yeah.
You've only put one squat on the board so far. You get a little bit nervous, and you pull up a little bit short.
So here's Will Mann for Great Britain.
The British team, big team this year.
Yeah, we've got full teams right across the board, I think, apart from sub-junior women.
So right on his personal best.
He's got more though, hasn't he?
Yeah, there
that
is
looked good.
Plenty more in the tank. Just needs to push that right knee out a little bit harder, but there's plenty more room to move.
He'll be pleased with that.
Emil Lofgren, Sweden, 215 kilograms.
So he's getting close to his PB now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you want to work. I mean, third lift, you get to give yourself that opportunity to have a crack at a personal best if you're in the position to do so. Otherwise, you just try and get a few more kilos on there. And
That's
I
a
don't
tough
know.
lift, isn't it?
I don't know if there's too much more room to move there.
No, his first one did look quite tough, but there didn't look to be much more there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see 225. 220, sorry.
So Pasi Sipilainen, defending world champion, out next.
So 220. And he's going to be tough to beat overall if he gets his openers on. He's certainly going to give himself a little bit of space to keep ahead of the pack.
I think it's really the Ukrainian lifter he needs to keep his eye on, but the French Geoffrey as well is right up there on projected totals. Long way to go before that, though.
Right now, he just needs to concentrate on getting the kilos on.
His knee was very shaky in the hole there.
He went very deep too.
I think a bit fast, lost a little bit of control.
Yeah, and you can see the coach just telling him there that, you know, sunk it way too deep.
I think, yeah, he did, didn't he? Looking at the replay, I think he lost a bit of tightness there.
Kevin Weiss, Canada, 220. He had a good opening lift. And the 10 kilo jump, which is a good size for a squat in this weight class. It's a pretty standard sort of jump.
And that's a struggle.
He had to work very hard for that one.
But he kept his position very well.
Yeah, he never let his chest fall too much.
He had a red light for depth from one of the side referees, but 2 to 1's good enough.
Leonid Lotnitsky now from the Ukraine, 230. A very good lifter.
He is. He looked very controlled.
Just getting the bar where he wants it. That lift off is such an important part of the whole process. You get an uncomfortable lift off or a lift off that feels heavy, walking it out, all of a sudden the mind and the body thinks, ooh,
Yeah, I
I'm
like
not
to
sure
get a
about this.
good solid pop out of the racks. Gives you confidence.
Fires up the nervous system, gets the mind in a positive state. That big breath in.
Yeah, easy.
Plenty of room left in the tank there.
And you can see how easy it is to adjust the new Eleiko racks with the new mechanism they
they're
have for in and
fantastic,
out.
aren't they?
It's so good.
Made it so much easier for these
It's
guys.
just a second and it's done.
Yeah, so much easier for these guys. And here comes Ryan, six-pack, lap it at 232.5.
So how was he feeling about the competition today?
Yeah, look, he's been pretty casual about it all week, really. Hasn't seemed overly concerned. He's a bit more psyched up for this lift than he was for his first.
Yep.
This is a personal best too, so
Oh, wow.
he's a bit more fired up. And of course, you get an extra couple of kilos out of wearing odd shoes as well. I mean, there's actually a kilo in each shoe.
What? Oh yeah, drive it up, that's easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't
no
a
problem with the
struggle, was
weight
it?
at all. Yeah,
3
no
white
problem
lights.
with the weight at all. He gets that one on the board. We'd like to see him probably lift his head up a little bit as the weight gets heavier to
He
try
did
and
seem
fight
to
that
tip
chest.
over a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, it'll certainly straighten him up a little bit. But weight-wise, that wasn't heavy at all. So wouldn't be surprised to see him look for maybe a 240 or even a 242.
And as you
for his
said it, he
last.
put 240 in. Yeah, he did.
Benjamin Rowe, USA, 235.
So that was quite a soft pop out of the racks for me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of really owning that
Yeah, me too.
as you step it off. It just puts the mind in the right position. Ooh, that's going to be shallow, I think.
It's a
It'll have to be
struggle
borderline.
It did look very similar to his first as well.
Yeah, too high.
3 red lights.
Going to make it tough for his third.
Yeah, he's really struggled. His opener was tough. I don't know if he would have even brought that up if he got it to depth.
Yimanov from Mongolia. So
Okay, he missed his first at 220. He's gone up to 237.5.
always a big
Wow.
call.
Because he missed on depth, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't
Wow.
deep enough. It's always a big call adding on weight when you haven't got that first one on the board.
I mean, if it's a really simple technical error, but not hitting depth, I would have
The
taken
extra
it again.
weight can shock the nervous system a bit, and that's going to be
That's
shallow
even
again.
higher. Oh dear.
I think that's going to be shallow. It is.
I think that was definitely higher than his first.
Yeah, we should be able to see, get a good angle on the replay here. Yeah, that was nowhere near depth.
And he can't go down. So,
Yeah,
That wasn't
and that
it.
was a big call, putting 237.5 because can't go back.
no.
Andre
I see what he
Jeffrey.
was doing. He was trying to put himself straight into third, but
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
sometimes
big
people think
risk.
they stick to their original plan, but I think it's always important to get that one on
Yep.
the board. 245 for Andre Jeffrey.
so I think he's going to be a big player at the end. I think there's 3 or 4 lifters all quite closely placed.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, when it comes to the end, I think it's going to really come down to the ones that can manage
Oh,
their
dear me.
enthusiasm. Great work from the spotters there.
Yeah, that was very, very well caught.
These guys have been on fire today, and
it's so hard to catch one when it goes over the head.
when it goes forward, it's a really tough thing to do. But they
did a great
that
job
really
there.
well. And having this great team of spotters, I mean, your lifters are going to lift better too because they're confident.
Yes, it's true.
They feel safe.
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah, look, I think by the end of this, by the time we get to the deadlift today, it's really going to come down to which one of these guys can manage their energy levels and their enthusiasm throughout the whole competition.
I think the 2.5 kilos here and there is going to make a huge difference.
You get too aggressive too early, you burn a lot of energy. So Donald Begum now from USA. $247.5. So he's got a 270 listed as his personal best. Wondering if that was some time ago or maybe equipped.
I think some of the lifters' PBs up on the screen are equipped PBs.
Yeah, occasionally you get an equipped one on there.
Yeah, that was from 2016.
You look at someone's bench PB and it says 310.
Yes. I think he's done it raw, but it was a few years ago.
He's handling the weight very, very well.
He is. Was it deep enough? It was. Fantastic. 3 weights.
Yeah, I mean, that's the experience, though. He knows his belt gets in the road, so he wears it that bit higher. It's something he doesn't have to worry about.
So, 3rd round of squats.
So we'll go to 185 for Martin Brix from Denmark.
He's gone up 5 kilos, but his second was tough. So let's see if he can make this one.
Yeah, his opening lift was tough. His second looked tough as well. I think 5 kilos is probably a right call.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's probably going to really push him to a stretch as well. Well, he certainly looks a bit more fired up.
He does. He does. You can sometimes see when a lifter comes out to the platform that they've already decided they can't do it, but he looks like he's going to have a real go at it.
Oh, he really shifted.
No, take it. He went off balance. His
really
foot
shifted
moved
to the left there.
I think all his weight went onto the left leg. His right foot came up.
And
I think it was the right call for the spotters to
quick
take
move from
it.
the spotters there, because I think if they had left it, it could have gone quite badly. Yeah, his whole body just shifted to one side, and the bar dipped before the spotters took that. Mark from Denmark, 185.
Again, he's not been making it look easy.
Yeah, both these guys from Denmark have just really made these squats look tough. And he just doesn't look confident on that walkout at all.
But he's
I'll tell you what, it looked better than his second lift.
That was a great fight. I think it was a good call on the weight selection.
That looked better than his second,
Yeah,
I think.
it
He's looks like he's warming up now. And I think that's really boosted his confidence quite a bit too. And he's just looking at his coach there telling his knees went in. Yes, they did.
Yeah. He had quite a narrow stance though.
Very, very narrow. So Ali Gonan from Turkey now 205. This will be a big PB.
He didn't get it on his second attempt. This is his second go at this weight.
His opening lift, I'm just trying to recall, his opening lift I don't think looked too bad.
I can't remember why he failed his second, whether it was depth.
Yeah, he cut it shy. Yeah, he just didn't get deep enough. And he's going to be very borderline there.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that one. Hard from the front view.
And not deep enough.
Not there.
Yeah, so
that's a shame because he was so strong.
So if you're watching this in your living room, we're sitting directly in front of the lifters. The referees obviously have the best vantage point, so sometimes we see things that look good or look bad, and the referees see it on a
And we
completely different
also
angle.
don't pick up some of the things that the side referees see, especially on bench.
Yeah, so we've only got a front view. We're also privileged to have a slow motion replay. Ryzyov now from Tajikistan. He's been very strong. He has.
And very calm,
That
lifted
technique
well
is
within
fantastic.
himself. Yeah. No breakdown at all
I'll tell
there.
you what, if you're learning to squat and you're watching this, watch him, because that is a great squat.
I feel like he had a lot more too.
Yeah, there's more in the tank there. He's got his head up, his chest is up, his torso doesn't shift from that position the whole lift through. That's the one to watch. Will Mann from Great Britain, 217.5. This would be nice for him to put a big PB on the board.
It will. He did 207.5 in Hungary earlier this year.
Will get 217.5.
He will. I hope he will. He looked good though. His second looked good.
Yeah, it looked very good.
I think his
And by looking at his second, there was lots more in the tank.
Oh no, he's just shifted across.
Yeah, you
Shifted
can
to the
see
right.
just as he came into the hole there, he shifted one side. That's a shame because his second looked great.
But you know, he's quite a new lifter. I think this is his 5th competition.
Yeah, look, he's been competing only several years in international. It takes a lot of experience, and every competition is just you learn new things.
Okay, Emil Lofgren next.
220.
And it's a fight, but it's moving.
Big grind, isn't it?
Wow.
And he gets it back to the top. I hope it's a good lift. It is.
It is. 3 white lights.
Nothing
he deserves
worse.
that.
Nothing worse than putting in a grind like that and all that energy for nothing.
He worked hard for that.
Gavin Weiss, Canada, 222.5.
So he's only gone up 2.5 kilos. So he mustn't be very confident. I'll be honest, I can't remember his second lift.
Yeah, his second lift, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was a bit of a fight.
Here we go. Get set. Take your time. Drive it up, Kevin. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
And it's going.
Yeah, he's putting the work. That should be a good lift, I think.
Yeah, I think so. 2 to 1. 1 red light for depth, but 2 to 1's good enough. I think that was a really well judged third attempt.
So
Here we have Pasi Sipilainen coming out for his third at 225.
So six-pack Lapidat must be feeling quite calm out the back there because he just shot me a message to say that he got a national record on his squat.
Did he? On his second?
So he's clearly feeling quite calm.
What would you think about one of your lifters being on social media, or being on their phone between
I'd
lifts?
probably throw his phone out the window.
Yeah, I thought you might.
But if you know Ryan, you know his Instagram is stapled to his forehead.
Yes.
Oh, that's deep. Boy, that was
But it
deep.
paid off,
used
didn't it?
he really used that stretch
Yeah.
reflex on that one.
But it's such a risky strategy.
Wow, that was deep.
He's laughing as he walks off
He
the platform.
knows that was deep.
Yeah,
Look at
he
the
knows he
replay
got
on
away
this
with
one.
that.
My God,
That's
he
a real dive
nearly
bomb.
hit the ground. Wow. Benjamin Rowe, USA, 235.
Okay, he missed this on his second attempt.
Yeah, just didn't get in deep.
They've all been
And-
very slow and controlled, haven't they? They've
Yeah,
almost looked
it's
like
just
equipped squats.
Yeah, I mean, I like to teach my athletes to sort of control and then just at the bottom, just drop into that hole.
Dip, yeah.
Get a little bit of the stretch reflex out of it. Let's see if he's corrected that depth. Yeah, it actually takes a lot more energy to pull the bar up short.
Here he goes. He looks a bit panicky, actually. I think he's...
He didn't look confident.
No.
Yep. He just didn't look confident right from the start of that lift.
I think you really need, especially when you're really close to your max, you need to be confident. You need to believe you're going to get it.
Much as a mind game as is a physical game as well. Here's a man that can squat. Leonid Plotnitsky from Ukraine.
237.5 kilos at 82 kilos body weight.
This man knows how to squat.
His legs look quite red. Do you think he's giving himself a slap on the quad as he's come out?
Yeah, there's probably a good chance of that. And those knee sleeves, probably the smallest possible size he
do
could
look
get
tight,
into.
don't they?
I'm not sure how he got into those. Oh, that's tough. He gave himself some work on that one. You can see his chest dropped a little bit forward there. And he really had to work, but he gets it on the board and gets the job done.
With that.
Now for 237.5, Ivanov from Mongolia.
I mean,
put himself under all sorts of pressure here.
This is a tough one. His squats have been really quite high.
He's just put himself under pressure in this situation. I mean, no one wants to see anyone bomb out.
No. I mean, potentially he's still going to put himself up into a medal place if he can do it. He's just got to have the confidence to sink it all the way. Oh, that was better. That was better.
That looked better. That might go on the board.
It might, yeah.
No, not quite.
Shame. 2-1 this time, but still.
Very disappointing. So Ryan Lapadat now with a 240.
So presumably he's pushing up a Canadian record now?
Yeah, and this one will put him into a silver medal position temporarily in the squats.
Let's go, Ryan. Finish the job. Yep. Go, Ryan. Steady it up. Steady it up. Easy weight. What?
Looks up to get the start command.
He looks confident.
It's a bit of hesitation in the hole, but you know what?
He did hesitate a little bit, but I think it was deep enough from where we're sitting, and it is.
I think it was. Do you know, I think he had more there.
There is, I mean, I think if he had sunk that deeper, he actually would have looked a lot easier. And
he did seem to hesitate a little bit.
The
just
amount of energy
bottom.
it actually takes to pull that bar up short is more than it takes to actually hit the hole.
Yeah.
So he's currently then in the silver medal position and waiting now for Andre Jeffrey with his 245 because he missed this on his second.
So Andre was the silver medalist in Belarus, didn't go to Calgary last year, but did very well at Belarus the year before.
And we're back in Minsk next year for the Opens.
Okay, he missed this his second time, so see if he can get it this time.
He's going to be really close on that. It's hard to tell with the black suit.
Really can't tell from this side.
But he gets it in. The side referees have got a better angle than we have. And
got
he
a
gets
red
it on the
card
board.
from the centre ref, which is the same angle we've got, or almost the same angle we've got.
So six-pack, Lapadat's going to take home the bronze medal. Jeffrey's going to take home the silver. And
squat his best lift, right?
Actually, deadlift is usually his best lift. He's a great deadlifter.
So, last squat of this session, 252.5 kilos. He's already got the squat gold.
Now he wants 252.5. Take his time. He's going to get that bar in tight. It's a good lift out and a good walk out.
And it's slow but steady.
He
It
looks
good to
confident
me.
with it. I think it's good. It is. It's on the
2
board.
to 1,
252 and a
fantastic.
half. Very nicely done. Get himself the gold medal in the squat there. Well, we'll take a 20-minute break, and we'll be right back here for more action when these guys hit the bench press. Welcome back to the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships here in Helsingborg, Sweden. And I'm joined by none other than Joe Stoneface Whiteley for the bench press in the under 83s. This is going to be absolutely fantastic.
It really will. We've had such close competition already, and now we're getting into bench press. There's everything to play for.
Yeah, this is a highly contested weight class across all age groups. Sub-juniors, juniors, opens and masters. Everyone seems to want to be an 83. So Ali Gonan is 105 from Turkey.
And he's coming out. You can see we've got the brand new spec Eleiko benches on the platform. And not just on the platform, the entire warm-up room is being kitted out by Eleiko with the new spec equipment.
Yeah, they look absolutely fantastic. And they don't just look good, they've actually listened to coaches, athletes, everyone involved, and they've created a really fantastic rack.
That's a lovely opening lift.
Actually, one of my favourite things about the new rack is the safety rails are slightly narrower. And there's a little bit more space between the weight plates and the safety rails now.
Oh, I hadn't spotted that actually.
I reckon
I'd spotted the racks in mechanism and the
yeah.
new grippy patch on the bench.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had a wriggle about on it. It's absolutely brilliant.
That's going to save us some money on chalk.
Well, I'm a lifter that slips on the shoulders, and I always use a lot of chalk, and I can't move on that new grippy perforated patch. It's superb.
Martin Brix, Denmark, 115. He's had a bit of an awkward time on squats.
He did. He made all his squats look difficult. He's got 2 out of 3 in. Very slow, controlled descents.
And his bench certainly looks a lot better than his squats.
It does.
Much better. So Ryan Lapadat now 125. Just had a chat to him out the back. He's looking good. He's feeling good. He was busy on social media.
So this is well below his PB.
Yeah, no, he's got a very solid plan in place, and he's doing all the right things and following that plan. He's just going to chip away at that total and make sure he's got plenty left in the tank if he needs to pull a big deadlift or something.
That looks strong.
Yeah, that was a really, really good opening lift.
Very nice.
I always like the idea of opening a little bit conservatively, especially on bench. You've just spent some energy on squat. It's not a fresh day in the gym.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I always bench after squatting anyway in training, but in competition, it's always, I don't know, bench always seems that much heavier.
Plenty of volume on that one. Donald Bingham, 135. So you're talking about all the Eleiko equipment out the back. To date, Eleiko has equipped 3 World Games, 31 IPF World Championships, 6 IPF World Championships, Raw Powerlifting, 64 Continental Powerlifting Championships, and 24 Regional Powerlifting Championships.
Wow.
That's how much support they give to this sport.
And that was a lovely opener for Donald Bingham.
Yeah, nice and easy.
That's a huge amount to give to equipment to give to the IPF.
Big supporters. And not only that, they have plenty of development programs as well. So Emil Lofgren from Sweden now.
Just took a moment to explain to the handoff man exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, I think it's a really important thing. I tell all my athletes,
Yep.
go out there, tell them what you want, and do it on each lift because they're probably not going to remember you.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point. That's a nice opener.
Yeah, good opening lift. Yeah, they certainly might remember your face, but if you're doing it really well, they remember exactly what you needed.
Yeah, I've done platform work myself, and then lifters come out for their second lift and say same again. And you're like, I've just done 20 lift-offs, I've no idea.
Yeah, same again, thanks. I mean, I like to do that at a local bar, but I do drink the same thing every time.
Okay, here's Willman.
135.
He did 142 in Hungary in March.
It's been a busy schedule for some of these lifters too.
You know, next year's even worse. The European Masters, we have our Euros in March, and then the Worlds in April.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very
then
busy
it's World
year.
Bench in May. So here comes Will.
That's a good,
very
clean
nice.
opening lift. I like
Yeah,
that. Nice and smooth.
He's got a lot more to come there.
So far, all these guys being
He's got a big smile leaving the
nice and
platform. He's happy
conservative
with
is
that.
what I like to see, that conservative opening lift. Mark from Denmark.
He's another one that struggled a little bit with his squats.
Opening on 140. Looking at his personal best, it gives him a bit of space to move around, which is good. You want to have that little bit of extra breathing room.
Just setting up a nice arch there. He's taking the bar with his bum still in the air. I just find that a bit odd.
Yeah, it was fairly smooth all the way through. Yeah, seeing a few lifters set up, and once they take the bar, then they...
Yeah,
back
it's
down.
quite common. But I don't know, I wouldn't like to have that weight in my hands while I was moving the rest of me
I
about.
like the stability of already being fully on the bench. Imanov from Mongolia, 145, and all sorts of trouble on the squats.
Just couldn't hit depth, could he?
So now he has to just focus on the bench and the deadlifts. See if he can maybe rescue something from today.
So even though he won't put a total up, he's still eligible for a medal in the other lifts.
So he can still medal. And that was certainly better than squats.
Don't see anything wrong with that, really.
Yeah, 3 white lights. Benjamin Rowe, USA, 145. That's the current world record for this weight class, 195, 195 and a half.
Yep. I don't think we're going to get too close to that today.
Probably not going to give it a nudge today, but that's a big, big number for this weight class. And Benjamin Rowe, quite a narrow grip on the bar. Just really probably utilising his strength there. Good tricep work.
Nice and easy though.
Yeah, good opening lift.
Maybe he's had an injury in the past, or just his shoulder mechanics mean that
it's
he's
certainly
stronger in
not
that
unusual to see people set up on their bench and position change on the bench over the years.
Yeah.
Particularly, I can contest as to getting older. I'm allowed to say that now because I'm well into my masters. But yeah, your mobility changes a little bit. So Kevin Weiss from Canada, 147 and a half. And Justin there, a Canadian coach, he's been ridiculously busy this week.
I think all the coaches have, because with lifting started at 8 a.m. most days.
Yeah, I've seen Justin out with, I think, nearly every single Canadian lifter so far.
Had a bit of a struggle through the sticking point there. That seemed a little bit heavy for an opener.
Slowed down just a little bit, didn't it? Look at the replay. Yeah, you can see it just slowed down a bit. Rizjov, 150 now.
Very calm lifter. Squats went very well.
Yeah, his squats were absolutely superb. He's an absolute technician.
Do you advise your lifters to use a belt on bench?
I really let them develop it that way. I mean, I use a belt on bench myself.
Oh, you do? On raw bench?
But I really let lifters sort of find their own position on that when they're new.
Oh, very nice. That was
nice.
Very easy.
And yeah, I mean, everyone uses a belt different ways and for different reasons. I use a belt on bench because it reminds me to push into my stomach, and it also actually helps me set up as well. Just gives me that feeling of comfort. Andre Jeffrey from France, 150.
It's not too far off his PB at 157.5. Bench must have been going well for him.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell when we get lists of their profiles and their personal bests, and sometimes you don't know how long ago those were. I mean, it could have been 12 months since that was his best lift, and he's been training solidly since then. Or sometimes people do open too close to their PB.
Oh, we jumped it.
Oh, I think he did jump that command there. If he didn't, he timed it well. And the side referees...
from where we were sitting, I think it was a lot easier to see than from the side.
Yeah, so we have, I mean, obviously we have the same view as the referees, the front referee, but the side referees, I mean, it could have gone either way there. He's either timed it really, really, really well, or he jumped
went
it.
on the P of the press.
So Sipalainen from Finland now 160.
Self-hand, that's a very wide stance, isn't it?
It is really wide foot. You see that more often in equipped lifting than
you see that more often on tiny girls.
Yeah, a lot of the smaller weight class women in the equipped lifting particularly will have that wide stance.
It worked very well for him.
And, you know, I guess that's one of the things, I mean, we all have certain ways we like to do things, and we have our standards of coaching, but at the end of the day, you've got to make the technique work for the individual.
Yeah. And I think a stance like that is, or a position like that is a good way to make sure that your bum can't come off the bench.
Absolutely.
You physically can't get it off.
One of the hardest things now is the weights are getting heavier and they're pushing more weight. It's becoming even more difficult to keep that butt down on the bench. Leonard Nitsky from the Ukraine, 170. And he is certainly going to put up a fight.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished lifter.
He's going to really use that experience. There's plenty of experience in the Ukrainian coaching team as well. Yeah, good opening lift.
Nice big chest. I always use the cue to bring the chest up to the bar. Oh, he's not happy about the hand out.
Not happy with his lift off, but there's not really much point in reminding the spotters now. The key is to remind them when you come out.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes lifters get a little bit upset with their hand off. The fact is these guys are not your regular training partner, and as a power lifter you honestly have to learn to adapt as well.
Yes, and you do sometimes, although I think it's a good thing to talk to your hand off man about what you want.
Absolutely.
You do see sometimes people giving them, you know, a 10-minute instruction course on it, and if you can't afford for your setup to be so fragile that only your coach can do it for you.
You have to be adaptable.
Yeah.
Ali Gonan from Turkey, 115. So we're into our second round now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that was a good second lift.
Right arm just lagging a tiny bit.
A little bit of work, but not over the top. So still got some energy in the tank. Martin Lewis Brix from Denmark, 122.5. So we opened at 115. That's a fairly reasonable sized jump.
Yeah, I think so. And he made his opener look quite easy.
And bench press is one of those things where we don't see big jumps. Well, we do occasionally, but it's unusual to see really big jumps. And that size jump was right on the edge.
He was. I wondered if he dropped it just at the bottom part of the descent.
But he gets it on the board. The job's done. So here comes Ryan. Six-pack. Lap of that.
No, his opener was super easy.
Super, super easy. He's gone for 135 now, of course. Justin Reese in his corner there. Been doing a great job with the Canadian team. And Ryan looking very calm. Matching shoes this time. Just decided with the odd socks. knowing Ryan, it's probably actually because he couldn't find matching socks.
Really? It's not a theme to be non-matching?
Good second lift. A little
he's
bit of
got more
work.
there, hasn't he?
A little bit of work, but not too much, so he's still got plenty in the tank. Very, very good lift. Yeah, really good lift.
You
Donald.
can see on the replay there, nice bit of leg drive, but didn't come up, but he got a bit of power from
Yeah, I
the
think
leg
that's
drive.
one thing a lot of people don't understand is it's a whole body lift. So Donald Bigham, USA, 142.5. Very vocal lifter.
One-time Bigham, says on his singlet. Not sure what that means.
I'm not quite sure how to take that. He really sinks it into his chest, doesn't he?
Yeah. But you saw him set his lats as he came down. That was a very good lift.
See, a few lifters use that technique of sort of sinking into their chest. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it when I coach, but if it works, if it's something that works for them,
and
they've
there was
developed
no
it over
heaving.
time. Yep.
Swedish lifter out next.
Emil Lofgren, 142.5. Nice light touch.
Yeah, kept big chest, nice and tight.
That's a good lift, that one. Yeah, I like that nice light touch. Just bring it to the chest enough to get the touch. Keep everything
sometimes
nice
if you're
and tight.
hovering though, you can use a lot of energy keeping the bar there, especially if it's a long time.
If they leave you there for too long.
Now Will's opener looked very good. He
Yes,
looks quite relaxed, doesn't he?
He does. He's having a bit of a smile and a laugh.
I know he's quite nervous about his squats, but he seems to have relaxed and he's enjoying it now, which is great to see.
142.5. So this is equal to his personal best. It's a nice way to have a second lift.
Yeah, he's got loads more
that
there.
was great.
Expect to see at least another 5 on there.
Yeah, I think I'd be disappointed if he didn't go 147.5 from there.
He did get one red light though. I'm not entirely sure what that was for.
I was having a look at the replay and I couldn't quite see it, but
the referees can have an angle. The side refs have an angle that we just don't have.
And they have a nice light there as well that shines through too, so they can see everything quite well. Mark, although we don't have the light set up this time.
Okay, they have
yes,
the butt light.
Yeah, the butt light's there under the rack.
So that shines in such a way that you can see straight away if the butt comes up.
Mark from Denmark, 145. Good second lift.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough.
Had to put some work in, but still left some behind. And you see the US coach has just popped over the jury table, I think maybe asking about one of the lights or something. Kevin Weiss, Canada.
Not quite sure why no one's failed to lift so far in this round. I wouldn't find myself complaining about lifts that have been passed.
Very nicely done.
It was. He only went up 2.5 kilos though.
Yeah, you think there'd be a bit more in the tank, but maybe he knows his bench doesn't take the jumps very well.
Watching the replay, his butt did come up. It was just hovering a little bit.
Gimbinov from Mongolia at 152.5. Don't know if he's going to have enough to. Don't know if he's going to have enough to challenge for a medal in the bench press.
No, well, it depends on what
big
everyone else
lifters
does, doesn't it? But we've seen some quite easy lifts.
Oh, that's a lot of work, that one. That was a big jump, 145 to 152 and a half.
Well, I thought he'd been a little bit more conservative on bench than he was on squat, but wasn't quite there.
And bench is always quite interesting. I mean, there's a
Butt was
lot of
way
lifters that, you know, can hit a 150 and absolutely smoke it, throw an extra 2.5 kilos on there, it doesn't move.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I think surely it will go, and then it just doesn't go.
I think we've all been like that.
Yeah.
Benjamin
It's a
Rowe.
long way from Mongolia, though. It's
It
a
is.
big journey.
You know, and people often forget, and athletes often forget, how much of a toll that travel can take.
It really does.
I was talking to Neville Harris earlier, competed earlier today, came from Australia, and even though he arrived on Monday, I mean, everything just felt heavy.
Yeah. I saw in the lighter weight classes an early session, a lot of the Canadians and Americans missed benches that were way under their PBs.
Yeah.
And I think for the same reason. That was nice and controlled there,
Yeah,
though.
very good. Yeah, Jen Thompson said the same thing in Tokyo. You know, everything just felt heavy.
She still won.
Yeah, she still won the World
equipped
Championship.
Raw.
Yeah, of course. She still won the equipped Raw. You know you're a good lifter when you can win the equipped Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely someone, if she gives you some advice on bench press, listen.
Oh, absolutely.
Andre Jeffrey from France, 157 and a half. So this will be interesting. His opening lift was quite good. Just a 7.5 kilo jump. This should give us a good indication of just how far he can go.
This matches his current PB.
Press.
And
Yeah,
it
it's
looks like
tough.
it too. That's
Yeah, I
not
don't think he's
going,
going to
is
get it.
Shame. Oh, he let go.
Oh, yeah. So 7.5 kilos. And that's the thing with 7.5 kilo jump, from 100 to 107.5 is not too bad, but 150 to 157.5 is a big difference.
I think I would have been reluctant to let go of a bar with that weight on it over my face as well. I mean, the spotters are good.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a little bit of a warning for that either.
Yeah.
So 160 now for Rezyov from Tajikistan. And he's just so calm and
He
composed.
is. I'm looking forward to his lifts because he's technically so good.
He is a great technician. You know, I just started coaching an athlete from Lebanon. You know, and I'm just so impressed that every time I give him instructions, every time I say try this, do this, he just puts it into action. Everything goes into action. Sends me a video. How's this? And he just puts everything into action.
Yeah.
And this guy is such a technician.
Press.
Absolutely
So
spot on the
easy.
money. You know, that was a 10 kilo jump and it looked like nothing.
I think he could go another 10 kilos.
Yeah, if you look at the replay, his setup, his position is perfect. The body drives back.
The
Chest
line
is
is
up.
great. Yeah, he's a great lifter.
Savalainen now from Finland, 165.
Defending world champion. He's gone up 5 kilos.
I'll tell
Quite
you what,
conservative.
he's going to have a fight on his hands at the end, though.
He really is. It's very close.
He just needs to stick to his game plan and don't get caught up in it and just wait until those last couple of
I
deadlifts.
think people say you don't win or lose on bench press, but I think Geoffrey's
This
just giving
is-
himself a
yeah,
hard
this is
battle at
the
the
point.
end.
I always say to people, you're never going to make up big ground on deadlift, on bench press. But that 2.5 kilos can make the difference at the end.
And that was quite a tough lift for Sipalainen. You have to question how much more he's got there.
Yeah, I wouldn't like
Maybe
to
only
see...
2.5.
No, I wouldn't like to see him go more than that. That 2.5, if he goes to 2.5 kilos, that can make the difference at the end. Goes to 5 kilos and misses.
Yep. Then he's given 2.5 away.
Nitsky from the Ukraine now, 177.5. This is equal
Okay,
to
he's-
his personal best.
He didn't like his handoff last time, did he? He was just having a word. Has he got
Has he got
really?
an uneven grip?
He has, very much.
It's interesting. I've only ever worked with one other athlete in my entire
Henry
life that has an
Che,
uneven
who
grip.
lifted yesterday, has a very uneven grip on bench because of a pec injury.
Yeah, I've worked with one other athlete in my entire career that has an uneven grip. And the first time I ever worked with him, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I think that must be because of a previous injury or imbalance. Clearly, the bar wasn't
Yeah, the
uneven, so
bar's not
clearly that's
uneven,
what he wanted.
And he gets the
That
3
was a
white
good lift.
lights. And he seems happy with the lift off.
But yes, I was saying, the first time I handed off for Henry Che, I wouldn't let go of the bar. I thought he had it all wrong. Okay, so that's the end of round 2. We are just moving into round 3.
And I'll tell you, it's a nice green looking board. There's only 2 reds on there,
Yeah.
so when you start getting all the greens on there, you really get a battle in the deadlifts then. Those extra couple of kilos. So Sivan has actually, only gone the 2.5 to 167.5. So I think that's a smart move.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've seen so many times this week people miss out on a gold medal by half a kilo.
Ooh. Right arm was a bit slow,
yeah,
but
it
it joined
very
in
slow.
the end.
But it didn't seem to dip down, so he gets the 2 whites.
Left-hand referee thought that it dipped.
So if you're watching at home and you're not overly familiar with the rules, the bar can actually come up unevenly.
Yeah, there used to be a rule about uneven extension, but we don't have that now.
We've changed that now.
Yep.
So the bar can come up unevenly, but the bar can't dip. And I believe the interpretation of the bar dipping is the whole bar.
The whole bar, that's my understanding.
So if you're a side referee, it's going to look like it dips. But that's why we have the 3 referees as well. Right. Martin Brix, Denmark, 125.
Very slow descent.
Yeah,
I wonder
it really
if
dropped into his chest, didn't it?
Yeah, do you
I'm
know,
not
I
sure
thought
how
he'd
he
lost
recovered that.
that.
Somehow he muscled that back up because it dropped into his chest.
But he did the same on the second one, so maybe that's his style. I know that if I'd dropped that last inch, I would have never got it going
If
again.
I dropped it later, it'd be stapled to the bench. Ryan, 6-pack, Lapidap's gone the 140.
Do you know, his 135 was so easy.
Yeah, I think the 140 is easily in the tank.
Yeah.
He's calm, he's collected. He's here on a job. He's got a plan in place, and this is part of the plan.
So this is his first year as a master, is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, I've been tormenting him about that. He's finally catching up to me. Because I've actually stopped having birthdays. That was a good choice of lift.
It was, wasn't it? I would have thought.
I reckon another 2.5 kilos might have slowed him down a little bit and maybe might have failed, but that was good.
And it's going to do his confidence good, isn't it? Because he's just steaming ahead now.
And he's still feels like he has lots of energy in the tank. And that's, part of his plan was to keep the energy in the tank, so when he gets to the end, if he needs to pull something big for something, he's got the energy to do it. And I often say that sometimes it comes down to the guys that can manage their energy better, not necessarily who's the strongest.
And those people that don't ever train all the lifts together often run out of steam on the deadlift.
147.5. Did his foot shift?
His foot did move quite a long way. I mean, lateral movement at the foot is okay, but you can't lift.
Yeah, and it was just a bit too heavy for him.
But I think it's symptomatic of the lift not going well when the feet start to move.
Yeah, you can see his right foot looked like his heel lifted and moved before it even came down.
Yeah.
Mark from Denmark, 147.5. Really getting those shoulders in underneath.
He jumped it again,
I
didn't
reckon
he?
he jumped it on that one. Let's wait and see.
I think they're going to spot it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump the command.
He knows it too. He can laughing as he's walking off. He knew he jumped it. He thought he
It's
might
a
get away with it.
terrible thing when an experienced lifter starts to do that. I'm sitting here
It is. It's one of those things.
feeling
It's
a
usually
bit ashamed that I've done that recently.
yeah. It's sort of usually one of the things you.
You're thinking about so many things. You
newer
get
lifter
big
with the
chest
excitement,
squeeze.
but it's it's very easy to do. You know, your adrenaline's pumping when you're out on that platform.
I think it's because my husband started doing handoffs for me and I just don't listen to him. So here's Will. Big PB on the bar. And go on.
Ah, good recovery.
Yes.
Let's see what the referees say. There
Lots
was a
of
bit of
it.
hip movement. And he gets it in there with
It's
two
one.
white lights.
It's
He's
enough.
got a big smile on his
He
face.
has.
Donald Bigham, 152.5. It must be a fairly long flight from the US, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and obviously from the East Coast, it's a 6-hour difference, time difference.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know the guys from Australia. I think it's 22 hours or 23 hours of flight time or something.
That's horrible. I'd need a week's holiday after that.
I had a lovely couple of hours flight from Belarus. It was fantastic. Oh, that's a tough one now, but he
just
grinds it through.
It's almost like a deficit bench when it goes into the chest that far.
Yeah, it's a really tough one, and you can see the grind there, and it's great to have that grind, and I think every good athlete should be able to grind, but you don't want to be doing it too often in a competition because it drains so much energy. You know, if you've got to grind your first, your second, and your third, or 2 squats, it takes a lot of work.
Well, it took him a while to get the command there. I'm not sure why. I think because the descent was so fast, it caught him out.
152.5. That was a good lift. Yimunov from Mongolia.
Oh no, he's done it again. He's failed to lift and gone up. See, it was a real struggle, the 152, and he failed it. I don't understand going up.
Now, if we were at an equipped lifting competition,
yes.
I'd understand that.
Yes,
But
that's
I'm certainly
totally
not
different.
I don't really understand the logic in that in raw.
Because sometimes you can't get it. You can't get the touch, and you can't get a good press as a result.
I thought for a second it was going to work there, and I was going to eat my words.
But also, it wasn't going to get him anywhere. It wasn't going to get him a medal.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly understand if maybe it was for a medal position or something like that, to have a wild crack at something. You've got nothing to lose.
And his
but it
bum
wasn't
was
going
right
to
off
change
the bench
anything.
as well.
Andre Jeffrey from France, 157.5.
No, he didn't get this one. He also let go of the bar when he failed it, which is a little bit...
Yeah, it's certainly...
it's not great for the spotters as well. They're not expecting to have it dumped into their hands. I mean, they're there ready.
I talked to some people in Tokyo, and I said, well, basically, if someone drops a bar, it's almost physically impossible to catch that as a spotter. You know, your reflexes and your spotters aren't there to catch a bar that people let go of.
But we've got the safety racks and the Eleiko rack.
Yeah, so we have everything. I mean, everything's in their
best piece of
place
equipment
there.
in the world.
And let's see if he can put 157.5 on. He's running out of time very fast.
He's timing out.
Yeah, he gets timed out. He just used up all the time there.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah, I'm a really, really big supporter of athletes being ready and waiting for bar loader to be called.
Yeah,
your wrist strap should be done up. Everything should be ready to go as soon as bar loaded is called, and you have time. So if you get a replacement call or anything like that,
I've had to replace the bar and squat.
You have time to do it.
And I remember the words, you have 38 seconds, you know, and that's a long time, but still, it's panicky.
So you need to give yourself time.
Okay, 160 on the bar.
Benjamin Rowe, USA. get himself a personal best.
Press.
Oh, it's tough. He's
And
working
it's
through it. He's going to get
though.
it.
Yeah, still moving.
There it is.
And not another gram would have gone.
There we go. Gets it. Yeah, I think another 100 grams would have broken him. Rezyov now 167 and a half.
Now he's already got the bronze medal in bench. Will this move him up?
Yeah, so this will
Oh,
temporarily.
this will move him up
yeah, this
to
will
silver.
temporarily move him
Yeah.
up to silver. Actually,
Actually,
he's
it will
lighter,
move him
so
up to
he'll move
silver
up
if
to
he
silver.
gets it. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see him get a medal. I've never
He
seen him
is-
lift before, but I'm a big fan.
He is just technically spot on the money, and it's that technique that's going to get him through. I mean, he's 49 years of age. He's still got plenty of lifting left in him.
Press.
Oh,
Very nice.
Wonderful
Very
lift.
nice indeed.
so that'll move him into the silver medal position,
Now, Siplainen's out next for the same weight. And
he's a fraction heavier.
he's heavy, isn't he? So that's it. The
he'll get the
Tajikistan
bronze.
lifter has got the silver medal.
So he'll take the bronze medal for the bench press. And I think he takes the bronze medal regardless of this lift.
Yeah, I think so.
That wide foot stance, getting that stability.
Press.
Oh,
Oh,
good third lift.
that looked as good as his second.
Yeah, that was a good third lift there, saving some energy. Smart move. So he'll take the bronze. And now Wotnitsky from the Ukraine, 180. He has the gold medal in the bench press.
Now this matches the European record, but because we're at a World Championships, he can't chip it. He can't
Yep.
put half a kilo on.
So you have to go 2.5. So
Yeah, so he's
which is a
yeah, it
that
can be a
2.5
lot on
kilos
bench.
can be
yeah.
a big call on bench.
So you can chip a world record at the World Championships, but you can't chip a continental record.
And of course, you can only chip in your Division 2. So if you're doing a Masters record
Yes.
and Open, got to go to 2.5.
But if you're a Masters lifter and you're lifting in the Open, you're doing pretty well anyway.
And it's one of the most amazing things about this sport is so many Masters and junior lifters are Open World Champions.
Well, of course, we've got Daniela Mello and
It's incredible.
Amanda Lawrence to look forward to in
Yeah.
the 84s later. And, of course, Kimberly Walford's a Master this year. Jennifer Thompson's a Masters
Yeah.
lifter.
It's incredible to watch.
Start. Press.
Oh, he's got to work for this
Oh,
one. Just a bit
no.
too much there.
Yeah. They did. Oh, I think
And-
he's hurt his shoulder. Oh, no.
Looks like that probably just pinched it a little bit,
Maybe,
I'd say.
hopefully.
I would say it's more of a pinch than anything, but he'll take the gold medal in the bench press. And of course, Rezyov there with the silver. And Sipalena there with the bronze. But don't go anywhere, because I'll tell you what, they're going to come out and play, and we're going to have ourselves a bit of a deadlift party here on a Thursday afternoon, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Can't wait.
welcome back to Helsingborg, Sweden for the IPF 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships. I'm in the commentary booth with none other than Joe Stoneface Whiteley, and we are just about to get the deadlift party underway, and it is going to be a tough competition.
It's going to be tight.
It is going to come down to the wire, I think, and of course, none of this is possible. None of this comes together without our fantastic sponsors, Eleiko, who continually raise the bar, and they really, really do that. Uplift, who will bring quality coaches together with athletes around the world, and SPD, some of the makers of the most finest lifting apparel on the planet. There's a reason we see everyone wearing SPD on the platform, and it's not just because it's available, it's because it's damn good.
Okay, so we have Mark from Denmark coming out for the first deadlift.
190. We'll probably see a mixture of conventional and sumo.
Ooh, soft on the knees, I think.
Wasn't a big lock, but enough to get the whites.
Yeah, that was a little bit untidy for me. He shifted his weight over to one leg. He was a little bit soft on the knees, and he almost threw the bar on the floor.
Yeah, and the rules state you've got to control it all the way back down. So, you know, hands actually, I think your hands actually have to stay in contact until it meets the floor.
I don't think it says that in the rules, but that's kind of how, that's the guidance.
You've got to demonstrate control.
Yeah, the jury are having a word, I think.
So, we've got Yumanov from Mongolia now, 210. And he has had...
He's not had a great day, has he?
Not a great day at all.
I think some attempt selection mistakes have been made for him.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, they're all learning curves for athletes and coaches at every competition. I mean, I've been...
But that's a solid deadlift.
That's a good deadlift.
Yeah.
That's much better. I mean, I've been coaching and involved in powerlifting for longer than I'd like to admit. And, you know, look, I still learn new things. Every time I come to competitions, every time I work with athletes, I still learn new things. And you'll see, you know, athletes from Mongolia will continue learning as well. Martin Brix from Denmark, he's fired up for this one.
He is, he's looking very focused. You can see from the minute he came out, he was just looking at the bar. He didn't look at anything else. No, it sounded difficult, but it looked easy.
It sounded a lot harder than it looked.
Yeah. You know, I do that because I get nervous when I come out, so I just, as I walk out, I look at the bar and I don't look at anything else.
I think it's a good technique to really stay focused.
Yeah.
Ryzyov now 220. He has been absolutely outstanding.
He's
all day.
A great lifter. I've enjoyed his performance enormously.
I'm looking forward to seeing his deadlift. And that's a good opening lift. And his sumo's pretty on point as well.
Yeah, just like all his other lifts.
And just casually walks off. Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, no drama.
That's pretty good. Yeah, put 235 on there. Kevin Weiss from Canada, 225. And Justin in his corner there from the Canadian team, who is doing a great job.
Nice opening.
That was a good opening lift. Will Mann, Great Britain, 235.
He's had a good day. I think he missed his third squat. I think everything else has been good.
He's certainly certainly been enjoying himself.
He's got a lot of room on this opener. His best is 265. He's opening at 235.
Yeah, I think that's always a good way to go. Ooh, shifted a bit.
Yeah, it looks
to
a bit
the right
untidy.
there. I think he just sort of rushed it just a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't look terribly happy as he walked off. I think he didn't make the best job of
Had a bit of a look
that.
at the bar there and think, is that right? Benjamin Rowe, USA, 235. Once all these guys get their openers on the board, you're going to see them really start pushing each other. Sometimes it's hard not to get caught up in the game.
Yeah, when you're jockeying for position, sometimes you can't always have your own competition. You need to maybe not go for the PB you wanted, but to cover the person that's trying to shoot past you.
So 235.
Oh, that's tough. He had a tough time on squats as well, didn't he?
He did. I mean, you
Semi-sumo
expect
stance.
a sumo to be slow off the floor. He's got quite a narrow sumo stance.
Yeah, I'd sort of say it was semi-sumo.
Yeah, it was sort of in between. But he
hands appeared to be not neither in or out, but the same place as his legs.
It was slow off the floor, but it was slow up to the knees as well. So Ali Gunnan from Turkey now, 245.
TC's just getting him to adjust his knee sleeves and socks.
Yeah, and that's doing a good job there. So one of the rule changes we've had over the last few years is that they can wear knee sleeves on all the lifts now.
I think they always could. There was some the difficulty was that the rules state that if you have socks on, they've got to be pulled up all the way, but they can't touch the knee sleeve. So there's a little bit of conflict there.
Yeah, so I don't really know if I see any great benefit from a knee sleeve.
No, me
It does
neither.
keep them warm, I suppose.
Kimberly Walford wears them, so.
Well, in that case, I
Can't
better go to the SPD booth and buy a new pair.
I mean, I don't wear them. I think it might. I'd be concerned about catching the bar as it went up.
I have worked with a few athletes that wear them, and we have run into that problem.
Also, I would say if you're going to wear them on deadlift, have a different pair for squats, because the knurling of the bar is going to rip those knee
Absolutely
sleeves.
destroy them. Lotnitsky now 250.
Ooh.
Tough lockout.
Yeah.
Would usually
I thought
see
that
him
would have shot off the floor. Once it broke the floor, I expected that to shoot to lockout.
Certainly usually see him move that bar a lot faster and lock out a lot quicker. Emil Lofgren from Sweden, 252.5. Yeah, usually he moves the bar a lot faster and locks out a lot quicker than that.
He grabbed his shoulder on his last bench, didn't
so
he?
he might have just been a little bit cautious.
Swedish lifter now, Lofgren.
Good lockout there.
Yeah, no
See him
drama.
shoot those hips forward. That's one thing you want to do on that deadlift. You want to make that lockout really obvious. Donald Bigham, 255. So he's actually a US Army head strength coach. So he practices what he preaches.
Yeah. Should know plenty about being strong then. I wonder what his slogan means. I'm curious. One time Bigham.
Here we go.
Quite a high position for his belt, isn't it?
Yeah, see a few guys move the belt up
Yeah.
for their deadlift.
I have mine a bit looser. Okay, that was a bit of work.
Yeah, probably a little bit more work than what you'd usually like to see in an opening deadlift.
Yeah, I have my belt a little bit looser on deadlift, but because I have the SPD belt, I don't have to mess around. You can just adjust it.
Yeah, I think that was one of the greatest things about the new SPD belts. With
and if you've had a lot of dinner the night before.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's usually me. Ryan Lapadat, 255. I just talked to him in the break. He's feeling really good.
He's having a great day. That was
Nice
no
and
problem
smooth.
at all.
That should be 3 whites, and it is.
So what's his best? 283 it said on his card.
Yeah, he's got plenty of room to move, and he's just conserving a bit of energy and just waiting to see what opportunities arise. Andre Jeffrey from France now 257.5.
Struggled a bit on bench. He only got his first bench in.
Yeah, just overestimated his second attempt. A little bit rocky on his feet. Let's hope that doesn't affect his balance. Shifts a little bit.
Nice and easy though.
Gets the job done. Certainly didn't seem too difficult.
Yeah, it's unusual to go up and down like that, but he didn't seem to have any difficulty.
Sipalainen from Finland now, 280.
This is a big opener. 82.75 kilo body weight.
It
He's
is
opening at
huge.
280.
Absolutely monstrous. $280 kilos.
Very calm approach to the bar.
It is a monster opener.
He's a dip, grip and rip type of guy.
Yeah, that's it. And he gets the job done. No mucking around with that one. And they've all got their openers on the board. And now we can see.
I think he's a bit unassailable for the deadlift gold, but there's a lot of close action for the overall place now.
Yeah, the fun and games begins now.
Yeah.
Just waiting to see what Sipalainen puts in for his second. We'll get a bit of an idea where things are heading. And Mark from Denmark with 200 for his second. Opened at 190. Great to see all of these guys have their opening deadlifts on there.
Well, this is the experience of masters lifting, isn't it? You see a calm
it does make
head.
a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know about that.
Ramping.
Oh, let's see what the
And
referees
he's dumped
say.
the bar again.
Yeah, he's got the 3 reds.
Yeah, his knee slips under the bar, and at that point, the
Yeah.
bar is resting on your thighs. If we get a side view on the replay, there
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
goes. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
flawed technique.
And if you see him put it down, he
Oh,
held it all the way
he
down.
did hang on to it.
I've had a few athletes over the years that I've talked to about how they put the bar down. And
It's the
if
excitement of pulling the lift, isn't it? Because it's
even
such an
if they're holding
emotional
onto it,
lift.
sometimes they slam it down. You know, you might be holding onto it, but that's not control.
Yeah.
Ivanov 220. So deadlift is clearly his game.
Yeah.
Six-pack Lapidas put in a 270 for his second. So taking a
Big
nice
jump,
jump
but
there.
But you know, it looked like he had it.
Yeah, look, and for Ryan, that's he's Martin Lewis Brix, Denmark. He,
And
likes,
again,
he
he
makes it
does.
sound difficult,
He
but
does, but it
it
looks
certainly doesn't
easy.
look difficult. So Kevin Wiesen, 235. So how are we looking in the predictions there? So
The top 3
Sipalainen
have
is
5
going to
kilos
come
between
down
them.
to it.
Yep,
it is going to be tough.
it really is.
It is going to come down to that
I think
last pull.
Geoffrey, I think the French lifter, I think he gave it away on his bench.
Yeah,
That was nice and easy for Kevin Weiss.
That really can be that bench press, those 3 benches, that really can be where it's won or lost. You know, you might not make up huge ground, but that one can be the one where it wins it or loses it. And here comes Rezyov from Tajikistan.
He's gone up 20 kilos, and I'd say judging by his first lift, I think that would be fine.
And he has just been so calm and so casual throughout this whole competition. And his technique He'll lift his chest, his head up.
And there it goes.
And
Oh, he's a bit shaky though.
yeah, that was a little bit tougher, that one.
Yeah, actually, that's the most effort I've seen him put in. One of the referees didn't like his lockout. And if we see it from the view of that referee, yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that
it could
knee.
be a little bit soft. I think that's one thing I don't really like too much about the knee sleeves on the deadlift either.
It's
I think
harder
it's
to lock
hard.
them.
It's
Yeah,
harder to lock,
yeah.
and sometimes they can be locked and they don't look locked.
Yeah.
I think you can make it a lot more obvious without them. 245 for Benjamin Rowe.
He had trouble with his opener, didn't he? It was very, very slow all the way.
Very slow off the
He's
floor.
got this semi-sumo stance.
Yeah, it's quite an odd position to be in. I've seen it a few times this week so far.
I think he's given himself the disadvantages of both styles.
It's very sort of mixed.
No,
yeah,
that's
that one's
not going
not
anywhere.
moving.
I'm surprised he took a 10-kilo jump, to be honest.
Yeah, that one didn't want to move much at all. Ali going now from Turkey, 255. Yeah, those top three positions are going to come down to that last pull.
Which is how we like it. That's
It's
powerlifting.
nothing better. And Ali's having a pretty good day today.
That's
Oh,
a bit
that's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's locked his
That
knees
right
out.
knee was just a little soft. The left looked okay, and yeah, he gets the two whites. And that right side there, just not quite as tight as it should be. Will Mann from
Yeah,
Great
you
Britain.
can see his knee locked and unlocked on the replay.
Yeah.
Here comes Will. He's looking fierce. He's gone up 20 kilos.
He's fired up. He's really
Yes.
shifting to the right when he picks that bar up, doesn't he?
Yep. The referee held him at the top a while there. I wasn't sure if he was wondering if his grip was going.
He really shifts. As soon as he picks the bar up, he starts to shift to the right, and then he corrects, but he's got a lot of energy waste shifting like that.
Well, he's a relatively new lifter. I'm sure he'll tidy his technique up as he goes along.
One of the things I love about powerlifting is watching. I have the advantage I get to go to all these events and have a front row seat, but I can see everyone's techniques change over the years as they develop, and even masters lifters, their technique changes.
Oh, absolutely, because a lot of masters lifters only start in the sport when they're already in the 40s. I started at 43.
And of course, you're only 43 and a half now.
I'm an M2 next year.
And wear it with pride.
Yeah, can't wait.
Lotnitsky, Ukraine, 265. His opening lift was solid but slow. Just wondering if he's just testing that shoulder on his first one.
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's tough.
Bit shaky, but he's got that.
He's got there at the top. That's tougher than he usually looks. His deadlift usually looks a lot stronger than that.
I think he can't afford to slack off though, can he?
No,
Because
he's got to
he's now-
keep pushing because he's right there. It is neck and neck.
He's just matched. Or when Sippalainen pulls his, they will be evenly matched.
They will be
Yeah.
680 and 680. Emil Lofgren from Sweden, 265.
Oh, it's a tough one, but he's sticking with it.
Oh, nice work.
Very wide grip, isn't he?
He has a very, very wide
I
grip.
think
It's
that's a bit
almost
of extra work.
yeah, it's almost a sort of a strongman grip.
Yeah. I would definitely bring that in just a little bit. It's just
Yeah, I'd love to see his grip from 10 years ago and just see if maybe he's widened it because of some, physiological reasons or
maybe.
something like that. To dig through the archives. Andre Jeffrey, 267 and a half.
so he's gone up 10. I think he's out of contention now for an overall podium.
Yeah, I don't think he's really in a position to challenge.
No. but he gets his lift. Don't see anything
He
wrong with
gets
that.
it there. That should be a good lift. And it is. Donald Bigham now, USA 270, one-time Bigham. He's looking for 270.
Current PB 282.5.
So this should be well within reach.
Using up quite a lot of his 60 seconds there. Oh, it's a struggle.
It's
to
tough.
lock. He's got it,
He has.
but I'm not sure how much more he can lock
There's
out.
not a whole lot there in the tank.
No.
So 270 now, Ryan Lappet. Took a decent jump there.
Yeah.
He's looking a little bit more fired up this time.
Well, you don't want to get really riled up for your opener, do you?
No, you
want
want to
lose
save.
all
You want to save that.
intensity.
Oh,
that was
very,
so
very
easy.
nice. He has
Very
managed his
impressive.
energy levels
Yeah.
really, really well.
He's got a lot more done.
Yeah, it's very, very nice to see. You know, and it's great to see. I mean, we sit here in the commentary booth and we're coaches and athletes and we talk about these things. It's really, really nice to see he's putting everything
Yep.
into practice.
I don't think he can move up an overall place, but he's currently in bronze medal position.
Yeah, so I don't think
Oh, maybe he can. He's put in 287.5.
he might be in a position. We'll see.
And if Geoffrey doesn't get his, he might move up to 4th.
But you can certainly go after a deadlift medal. So Sivalena now
I think
287.5.
he's pretty much got a deadlift medal. So this is our defending world champion.
And very, very good.
Yeah, he's got long arms, hasn't he?
He has got great levers for the deadlift. So that was a very, very useful lift to put on. And very useful to make it look not too difficult as well.
So as we move into the third round, we have the leading two lifters both on 680. That's
So-
Plotnitsky and Sipilainen both on 680 and Donald Bigham on 675.
So interestingly, so obviously they get a change for their last deadlift.
Yeah.
Sivaleinen's put in a 295, which will only take him to 687.5. So I think he's
I
put
think
that
there's
as
a
a bit
bit
of a
game
placeholder.
playing going on,
And
yeah.
he's going to try and make Plotnitsky come out and lift first, and then he knows exactly what he has to
Yes.
lift. And there's always a lot of game playing going on in this last lift when it gets close. So Mark from Denmark, 200 kilograms.
He missed this last time.
And again, it's just a little bit too much for him. He certainly moved a lot further that time.
He did. He's
He
smiling ruefully
walks
as he
off with a
walks
smile.
off,
He's had a
yeah.
good day. He's enjoyed himself. And that is what powerlifting's about.
For me, though, I don't like to see the lifter drop the bar when they fail it. I always think,
No, I
if you
think
can't pull it, put it down.
I think a drop bar is a grip loss. If you can put it down, put
yeah,
it
if
down.
you lose your grip, there's nothing you can do about that. But just letting go of it because you can't finish it off, I don't like to see.
Yimbanov from Mongolia. Would be really nice to see him go 3 for 3
Yeah.
on the deadlift. Bit of retribution. Come on, pull it
He's
through.
going a little bit of ramping there, but I think he
And-
should get away with that.
He might have just dipped the bar, and he did. He dipped the bar just before they called down.
I think,
He
do you
was
know, I
losing
think
his
grip
grip.
was going on
Yeah,
his,
He was starting to lose his grip. But you know what? He didn't have a bad end to a tough
No.
day. Martin Brix from Denmark, now 240. fired up. Really fired up for this one.
Like he's been shot out of a cannon. Fantastic.
Oh, well done. Did he get the lock on the knees?
I think he should be.
He did. It's
yeah,
enough.
2-1. 2-1.
Really nice finish. Kevin Weiss from Canada, 247.5.
Of course, the bar must be cleaned between each lift on the final round of deadlifts.
Yep, give every lifter the opportunity to get the right grip on that bar. There's nothing quite like that waffle pattern knurling from Eleiko.
But of course, when you have sumo deadlifters and conventional deadlifters, they're wiping chalk off their talc off their legs,
Exactly.
different parts of the bar.
Oh, great squeeze.
Yeah.
Really,
really
good
well
finishing
coached
lift.
attempt.
Very, very good finishing lift.
That's a happy coach.
Rezyov now 250. And wouldn't you love to see him put this one on the board?
He got one red light for his second. He had to work a little bit for it.
Would really, really love to see him put 9 from 9 on. And you've got to take your hat off to him as an athlete and, of course, his coach as well, because he is such a technician.
So he went up 20 kilos and now he's gone up another 10. This will move him up quite a long way, actually. He's currently in 9th overall. And it's going. Can he lock it? I'm not sure.
I don't know. He's locked to the
knees
top.
there.
Let's wait and see.
Oh,
Not
what a
quite.
shame.
That's a shame.
What a
But
shame.
he has been an absolute technician and an absolute pleasure to watch lift today. If you're young and you're just starting out in powerlifting, or old and just starting out in powerlifting, no matter what your age, and you're watching, that is a man to watch, because he is an absolute technician. He might not have won the gold medal, but I'll tell you what, he wins the gold medal on technique.
He had a lot left on each lift, didn't he? Well,
Yeah.
apart from deadlift. Not in
Yeah,
deadlift.
I think he had quite a bit left in the tank on his squats and his bench.
Now this is a big PB attempt for Ali Gonan.
260.
Unusual to see a sumo puller in deadlift slippers.
Yeah, usually want to get a little bit more footing on the ground.
No.
Yeah, a little bit too much. Not today, just not quite enough energy left in the tank. And this is where it gets tough, because you're starting to run out of steam. You've been lifting all day.
And it's hot today.
And it's warm,
Very
yeah.
hot.
Will, man,
Here comes Will.
262.5. He's got a cheer squad in the stands. A very loud cheer squad.
He's had a good day too, and he's fired up.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him pull
and
this.
he's having an absolute ball.
Go on, finish it off. Good man.
Yeah, that should be a good lift, I think.
So?
I
Fantastic.
think if they had a hold him at the top for another second, it mightn't have been, but
And he's delighted with that. Fantastic.
great way to finish. So Andre Jeffrey now 272.5. So this will temporarily roll him up the board to second in the deadlifts. Obviously with a few lifters to come.
It will. Will it move him up?
So it won't change his
No, it
overall
won't change his
rank,
overall.
but it will move him up in the deadlift. So there's still a few lifters to follow him though. And of course we've got that battle for the gold medal. And certainly don't count Bigham out yet,
No, definitely.
because anything can happen.
5 kilo spread on the top 3 lifters.
It's just a hair's feather in it. I don't actually know what a hair's feather is, but
It's about who gets to pull their last deadlift, isn't it?
he's strong. He is strong.
So, as you say, that moves him into silver on the deadlift. I think he's pretty much assured of 4th place overall. I don't think anyone can come past him now.
Yeah, no, he should be okay there. Yeah.
But this would take the silver medal in deadlift off him, if it goes.
If Ryan Lapidat wants to move into 4th, he'll have to increase his final lift.
And it's a
And
struggle.
it's a little bit too much there.
Can't
He gave
get
it
past
everything
the
he had.
knees.
Right, you see the American coach going straight to the desk.
Yeah, but it's 3 red lights. You can't.
She's looking for a change.
Oh, for a change, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
looking for a change.
Yeah. So I thought
And
you didn't pick it up. You can't.
What
can't
happens
challenge
is,
that.
and you'll see this if you're watching at home, when it comes down to the last deadlift, when everything's this close, you'll see all the coaches hanging around very close to the technical controllers table with their change cards and watching everyone else's lifts. So right now,
And this is where Plotnitsky has got the disadvantage. It's an advantage
he has
to be
to pull first.
a big deadlifter because you get to wait for everyone else to lift and decide what you want to
And now
put on.
depending on this lift, you'll see if he makes this lift, you'll see some changes go in. If he misses this lift, you might even see some changes go in. Now, if he makes this lift, Spillane is going to have to change his lift.
Yeah. But he's fired up, but his last lift looked tough at the top, didn't it? The lockout was
and the lockout was
hard.
tough. I mean, it's not a huge jump for him.
And it's going, but can he lock it? He's
Wow,
fighting.
he is so strong there.
Wow.
He is so strong there. He gets it on the board. So Sibilana now is going to have to change.
So he has totaled 692.5 kilos.
So 692 is the number to beat.
So impressive. Keep him pulling at the top like that.
He's just so strong up there. He's got a great ability to grind. And I think that's something that's really important in a world champion, is that ability to grind those killer lifts out.
So this will get him a silver in deadlift. Will it move him?
Yeah, it'll move him up to the silver in the total as well. So he's putting the pressure on Sipalainen.
Oh no, not quite.
Just a little too much. He moved it well off the floor.
Yeah.
Moved it fast off the floor, and I thought for a second he had the momentum, but it just got a bit too much. Pulled him over a little bit.
Style though, can't it? I'm very fast off the floor, but can't get past the knees.
I probably would have liked to see him lift his head a little bit. Might have kept it back a bit further. Ryan Lapidat, 282.5. So this will move him into silver medal for the deadlift.
From the deadlift, yeah. It won't move him up overall.
So 282.5.
He's had a great day so far, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's bagged himself.
Huge amount of support in the arena.
He's bagged himself a couple of national Canadian records.
Drawn himself
and
some abs
I do
on.
love the six-pack on his soft suit there.
It's going.
And look at that.
It's easy.
He's got that in the bag.
Wow.
Great finishing lift. Great way to finish. And he'll take home the silver medal in the deadlift.
Okay, so this is all or nothing.
This is it. He's gone 302.5.
This is a huge deadlift.
This is the one he had to do. He has no choice.
Yep.
It's all
Pulling
or nothing.
for the win.
If he misses this,
this is what it's all about.
He goes silver. If he gets this, he goes gold.
It's a big jump.
It's a big call, and it's a big PB to cross that 300 barrier. It's not that far off his personal best, but crossing that 300 barrier is just psychological.
I have faith. Come on.
He can do it.
It's
going.
It's
It's
going.
going.
Can
It's
you lock
going.
it? Let's see what the
Put
referees
it down
say.
quickly. It should be a good lift. I think
Yes.
it is. It is. He
got it.
gets
That's
the gold medal.
fantastic.
Sneaks in there.
That's
and
what it's
steals
all
the
about.
gold medal.
Huge deadlift PB for the win.
Pulls for the win. Nitsky will take silver. And Bingham will take bronze. What a great way to finish. Shuffling all over the place. It doesn't get any better than that. What a way to finish. Well, can't thank you enough for joining us. And, of course,
it's been
we
a pleasure.
hope your day tomorrow is just as exciting and just as good as theirs. Don't go anywhere. We've got the medal ceremony coming up very shortly. And the action's not over because we've got another fantastic session at 7 p.m. this evening.
athlete from Turkey.
Yeah, it's not here.
You can't call him?
Turkey.
Next session.
Ronan from Turkey. Nice to hear. Glad to see you. Brothers. I think you're going to handle this once a year. Since the rest is around. We see never, and it's a little bit of a
Tajikistan. Yeah, here. Please come.
Similar goes to Pakistan, Karachi, Sweden. Deadlift, also goes to Ukraine, including UFC 275. So that goes to Canada, Rio, to 275. And the one that goes to England and passes to 2.5. And so, the bronze medal goes to USA, Dominican, 675. Silver medal goes to Ukraine, and we go NXT, 675. And the gold medal that was yet to from Finland, passes single line, 695. Here we go. Face the all the lifters around the world.